Hello, everybody. So, I just wanted to make a few announcements. I know this is Saturday, so if you're not watching this on Saturday, it's okay. I wanted to go over the quiz you guys took this week. It was due yesterday, so if you guys missed that quiz, I'm going to extend the deadline to next Friday. However, you'll be taking a makeup version, not the same version everyone else took. So just keep your eyes out for that makeup version if it's not posted already. And so we're going to go over the answers and just a couple announcements to make. So just kind of a sneak peek at next week. Oops. Let me share my screen here. All right, so I just had to share my screen here. And sneak peek at next week. So I'm still going to be sending out those daily emails just to kind of give you guys a little bit of brief instructions on what to do for the day. But the attendance assignment or attendance question will always have the agenda attached to it. So my thinking is that the first thing you're gonna want to do for my class is work on the attendance questions that we know you're marked present for that day. And then the agenda will be the next thing right under it. So this is not posted yet, but this is kind of just a kind of a sneak preview. Let me kind of open the full screen so you guys can see it. So you're going to answer a question. When you're done answering the question, you can click on the agenda and look at the agenda for that day. So my agendas are really important because they, especially from now on, they're going to give you a list of vocabulary words and some videos to watch. So please don't ignore those agendas. They're really important. And so again, that's a little sneak peek there. That'll be posted on Monday. But if you want to look at my agendas earlier, don't forget you can always go to this course website. And that's not just for earth science, that's for all of my classes. There's a course website link. You can look at future agendas there if you want to work ahead. So anyway, let's go ahead and go over the quiz. First of all, let me just show you a student view here. If I am on my student side and I click on the link to the quiz, now I'm a student. I've already taken the quiz. This is the screen that you're going to see. So I've already talked to you, a lot of you guys, about this personally. You've already responded, and so there's a few options here. It says view score, and then there's a couple other smaller options down here. It says see previous responses and edit your response. So this quiz, I might not do this for future quizzes. This quiz had an edit your response link. The reason I'm showing you that is because all of my exit tickets will also have that edit your response. I want you guys to have a chance to go back in there. If you didn't get the grade you want the first time, you can go back in there and try again. Sometimes you'll see this link that says see previous responses, which means you get to see responses from other students. So anytime that you submit something to me, this screen will pop up, or anytime you click on an old assignment, this screen will pop up. Make use of those links because you might want to see what other people posted or edit your response if those options are available. And of course, you can always click on view score to see what score you made. Okay, so without waiting any longer, let's just go ahead and go over the quiz. If you hear any banging, that's because my cat's trying to get in the room. She doesn't even like me, so I don't know why she's trying to get in here. Let's see, quiz, go. I already have it open. Okay. I'm gonna go to the teacher side so you guys can, so we can just look at the answers right off the bat. All right. So question number one. This is asking about independent and dependent variables. Question number one says the height of bean plants depends on the amount of water they receive. So as the first question is, what is the dependent variable? Next is the independent variable. So a dependent variable, that's the variable that is being measured. It's kind of like the final outcome of the experiment. So this person wants to know about the height of the bean plants. That is the outcome. So the dependent variable is the height of the bean plants. Independent variable, that's the variable that the experimenter controls. So what does the experimenter have in his control? Well, it is the amount of water that each bean plant receives. So if somebody was going to actually set up this experiment, they would have so many bean plants, and they would put so much water in each bean plant, and then measure the height. So again, they control how much water goes into each bean plant. They can't control how much each bean plant grows. That's kind of letting nature do its course. So again, independent variable is the amount of water received, and in the dependent variable is the height of the bean plants. So that's question number 1. Question number 2, the higher the temperature of air in the oven, the faster a cake will bake. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Okay, that seems to work. So again, independent variable is something that the experimenter controls. So if you're baking a cake, you can't control how fast your cake's going to bake. That's why you have to test your cake before you take it out. You can control the temperature of the oven. So the temperature of the oven air is the independent variable. The dependent variable in this case is, again, something that is, you cannot control what you're trying to measure. So if you look at the phrasing again, the higher the temperature of the cake, the higher the temperature of the air in the oven, the faster the cake will bake. So we're looking at the cooking speed, or how fast the cook bakes, the baking time. That's what I was trying to say. This is the baking time, is the dependent variable. Question number 3. A study was done to find if different tire treads affect the braking distance of a car. What is the dependent variable? So again, dependent variable is the final outcome. So they're trying to figure out what is the braking distance of each car. So the car's braking distance is the dependent variable. And independent variable is something the experimenter controls or changes. And your keyword here is this word different, meaning that they are changing, the experimenters are changing the tire treads. So the different tire treads is the independent variable. Number 4, this one's a little bit of a long one. So you guys, hopefully you guys slow down and give yourself a chance to read through this a few times. 4 groups of rats are weighed and then fed identical diets except for the amount of vitamin A they receive. Each group gets a different amount. After 3 weeks on the diet, the rats' weights are measured again to see if there has been a decrease. So dependent variable, what is being measured here? They're trying to measure the rats' weights. That's what they want to know. And what is the independent variable? What is going to cause that change, or what can the experimenter control? Well, the amount of vitamin A. So the identical diets might have kind of thrown some people off, but yes, they all are fed identical diets, but that means that nothing is changing. So the amount of vitamin A is what is affecting the final outcome, or the dependent variable. Last question, number 5. An investigation found that more bushels of potatoes were produced when the soil was fertilized more. So dependent variable, what is being measured? Well, the bushels of potatoes, or bushels is another way of saying, is a way of measuring the number of the potatoes. So number of potatoes is the dependent variable. Independent variable, what are they changing? Well, they're changing the amount of fertilizer. So fertilizer, the amount of fertilizer is our independent variable. So that's just a review of the quiz. I know a lot of you guys, I shouldn't say a lot. There were select students that didn't fare too well on this quiz. And notice that I'm not freaking out, and I don't want you to freak out either. This quiz is not going to be as worth as much as my other quizzes. And it will also, I find that the general trend is that students don't do well in the first quiz or test of the term, and that's true for no matter what I put on the quiz. So please don't freak out if you got a low score. You guys will definitely have more than one chance to make up this score. But if you do have any questions over this review, please let me know. Again, you should now be able to see the correct and incorrect answers when you actually, no, you wouldn't be able to. I'll make sure by the time this video is out, that you guys can click on the link to the quiz and view the correct and incorrect answers for yourself. If you have any questions, you guys know how to get a hold of me. Text, email is probably the quickest way. And I will see you in class.